chromosomes. Even before we continue that, you just tell me that what are the what are the sex hormones? Yes, the main sex hormones which we have learned.
So I was
Mhm.
actually not there for the last class. So can I just explain sex determination?
Sex determination.
Yes, I was not there for the last class.
Okay, Vaiga, try to be regular in the class now.
Okay, sir. Sorry, I had some work from the school. That's why, sir. I was absent that day.
Okay, but I would say that it is important to stay regular in the class. Why
Okay,
I'm
sir.
saying that now? Because like once you will be missing, even if you miss a single class now, you will be missing lots of important concepts. Okay, like I will explain that. Okay, I will be explaining that. But in the class, in the regular class, what happens now? A particular topic is discussed in detail. Okay, no. And right now, I will be explaining you in short. Getting it now?
Okay, sir.
Trying
Thank
to
you.
say. Mhm. Others who have not joined yet, no? Okay. See, in the sex determination, what we have learned that our body contains chromosomes. We all are made up of cells. Organisms are made up of cells, and inside the cells there are thread-like structures called as chromosomes. Is the slide stucking here? Can you guys see the slide properly? Is it stucking?
No, sir.
No.
Okay. So whatever we have learned that we know that there are about 23 pairs of chromosomes in our each and every cell has about 23 pairs of chromosomes. That is something which we have learned. Out of the 23 pair of chromosomes, 22 pairs look same. 22 or 44 chromosomes, they are identical to each other. They are called as autosomes, and they do not determine the gender of the baby. They do not participate. I mean to say, they will not be determining the gender of the child. While one pair is the X and the Y chromosome. Okay, now one pair or basically two chromosomes, they are X and Y. In the females, XX chromosome is found, while in the male, XY chromosome is found. That is something. So in each and every cell of the body, this is the number of the chromosome that will be found. Total 46 chromosomes will be found, or basically 23 pairs. Out of the 23, what I have told you that 22 pairs will be looking identical to each other, meaning 44 chromosomes will be looking identical to each other. Okay, now meaning that in each pair the chromosomes will be identical to each other.
Okay, sir.
But the 23rd pair now, in this the chromosome will be X and Y, and that will be determining the gender of the baby. Let us understand how does it happen. So we know that in the male gamete cell or the female gamete cell, okay, they will be containing half the number of chromosomes. They will contain just one pair of the chromosomes, not both the pair of chromosomes. Getting what I'm trying to say? So for example, the sperm cell will contain only 23 chromosomes, right? And so as the ovum will also contain only 23 chromosomes. So ovum will also contain that much of chromosome. So 23 chromosomes will be there. In this, one will be the X chromosome. So what just happens now? The ovum will have just one X chromosome. Okay. While the sperm can either have X or can either have Y chromosome. I mean to say the sperm can either have X chromosome or Y chromosome. While the ovum, in both the situations, it will have X and X chromosome. That is one thing. Further, what we know that at any given time, sperm will have just X chromosome or will either have Y chromosome. And so is true for the ovum also. So during the time of fertilization, if sperm carrying the X chromosome fertilizes with the ovum carrying X chromosome, so the zygote that will be formed will be having XX chromosome. And XX is the type of chromosome found in the females now. The child born will be a female. Getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
But if the sperm is carrying the Y chromosome, as I have told you that sperm can carry the Y chromosome also. So if the sperm carries the Y chromosome and the ovum, again the ovum will contain X chromosome only. So if the sperm carrying the Y chromosome were to fuse with the ovum carrying X chromosome, so thereby the baby that will be born will be XY. I mean to say the zygote that will form will be having XY chromosome, so that will be now the son. That will be the
Okay, sir.
son. So
Okay,
that
sir.
is how it is determined. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Today our discussion is going to continue from the hormones other than the sex hormones. So my question to you guys was, what are the sex hormones? Yes. What are the sex hormones we have learned?
Testosterone.
Testosterone, good, and estrogen and progesterone, right now? So the main sex hormones are three. The main sex hormone produced by the female, it's the progesterone and estrogen, and as for the male, it's the testosterone. Got this now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Ibrahim, how are you?
Fine, sir.
Where have you been, Ibrahim? Your exams are over? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When was the last paper, by the way?
Before last week.
Okay. Right now, the chapter Age of Adolescence is going on and it is about to be completed. Few portion is left in this. Okay, now so you continue from here. And as for the left portion, you can continue. You can watch the recording. Okay, I will ask the team to send the recordings of the previous lessons to you. So hormones other than the sex hormones. So we are not going to talk about estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone here, right now. Estrogen, by the way, you guys tell me, estrogen and progesterone, it is secreted by which part of the female reproductive organ? Yes?
Ovaries.
Ovaries, very good. As for the testosterone, it is?
Testis.
Testis, very good. Okay. So first we are going to learn about the thyroid gland here. Okay, no? Thyroid gland that is present in our throat. So thyroid gland, it is found at the front of the neck and between the windpipe. So between the windpipe, this thyroid gland is present, as you guys can see here. This is the thyroid gland over here. Okay. You can look at the color of this also. It has a brownish red color, and it will be secreting a collection of hormones called as thyroid hormones. So several type of hormone will be secreted by the thyroid gland. The main hormone that will be secreted by the thyroid gland is called as thyroxine. What do we call this? That is the thyroxine hormone is secreted by this. Okay, now let us understand like what this hormone will be doing. So this thyroxine hormone will be responsible for controlling the rate of metabolism in our body. The thyroxine is this thyroxine hormone particularly that is being produced by this thyroid gland will be regulating the metabolism of the body. It has some other functions also to do. Okay, but the main function is that it will regulate the metabolism of the body. Now the question comes at what is the metabolism? So metabolism basically will refer to the biological reactions that is taking place in our body. Getting what I'm trying to say? It's a different kind of biological reactions that is taking place inside of the body. Whether it be the digestion of the food, whether it be respiration, all these are biological reactions, isn't it? In the process of respiration, what happens? Glucose is broken down into carbon dioxide and water and energy is released. Isn't that a chemical reaction? But more specifically, a biological chemical reaction, right? A biochemical reaction, we can see that. Right, Ibrahim, Ramiz, and Vaiga?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that is one of the metabolic activity. Okay. Other metabolic activity would be digestion of the food, other things. So this hormone will be regulating the rate of metabolism. At what speed respiration or digestion or other biochemical process will take place inside the body. It will be decided by this thyroxine hormone. So it will control it. Okay, now. So that is one important function of this thyroxine hormone. Okay, now many times you would have seen that certain people would be suffering from goiter. Goiter is a deficiency disease that is caused due to the lack of iodine in the diet, right now. So due to the lack of iodine in the diet, what happens? This thyroid gland will swell up. It will swell up. It swells and thereby it will lead to goiter. You guys would be familiar with the term goiter before, right? So what will actually happen there now? When iodine is not received, when iodine is not provided to the thyroid gland, or if there is lack of iodine in our diet, so this thyroid gland will expand. It will expand to it will expand and it will try to absorb maximum amount of iodine that it can from our body. Yes, Harim, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yes, I'm also good. Please, I'm saying this to everyone. Please, guys, try to join the class on given time now. Because in the beginning, I did told several important points. Okay. See, right now we are now Harim discussing about the thyroid gland. It secretes thyroxine, and thyroxine will be responsible for controlling the rate of metabolism inside our body. Metabolism, I was saying that metabolism refers to biochemical reactions inside our body. For example, it will be respiration, digestion of the food, etc. So this thyroxine hormone will be responsible for controlling the rate. At what rate respiration, digestion, other things will be happening. Next, we were learning about goiter, in which I was saying that this thyroid gland, it requires iodine. What does it require?
Iodine.
Iodine. Why does it require iodine? It requires iodine to produce thyroxine. Exactly. To produce thyroxine hormone. But if our diet lacks in iodine, all of you turn your cameras on in the class. All of you. If our diet lacks in iodine, so then it will start to swell up. It will start to expand in order to maximize the absorption of iodine. Getting it now?
Yeah.
So due to lack of iodine, it expands and swells and leads to goiter. So if if sufficient amount of iodine is not available to the thyroid gland, so will it be able to produce sufficient amount of thyroxine? If sufficient, if the adequate amount of iodine is not available to the thyroid gland, will it be able to produce the hormone that is
No.
thyroxine?
No.
No. Exactly.
No.
So lack of thyroxine will further result into goiter. This will further result into goiter. Okay, now. So hope this much should be clear to everyone. Okay. And regarding the function of the thyroxine, is that thing clear? Like what it will be doing? Okay.
Yes.
That is one thing. There are some other functions also performed by thyroxine. Okay, no? Like thyroxine will be having an effect on our heart, on our muscles also. Getting it? It will affect how our heart and how our muscles will be working. Okay, no? So that will also be affected by thyroxine. So another function performed by the thyroxine is that the thyroxine also affects the functioning of muscles and heart. That's all about the this thyroxine hormone. I'm going to put the screenshot in the chat box. You guys can make notes of this after the class from. Just 1 minute. I can't see you guys in the chat box. Let me drop a message or make a quick call. Because if I were to drop the screenshot, only I will be able to see it. You won't be able to see it. Oh, can I give me a minute? Yeah, now you guys are visible. Now, next we're going to learn about pancreas. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, Harim.
So basically, like some people have like thyroid, right? So how is it
Mhm.
like harmful, or like what is exactly thyroid?
Okay,
Like
like why thyroid is harmful?
yeah, and like what it's exactly, like what's the cause, and like what it is exactly.
Mhm. The main cause of the thyroid is like when the body is not getting adequate amount of iodine, so it will lead to thyroid. Okay, no, that is one of the main reason for this. Okay, so if we are consuming a salt, for example, usually people who are living in the mountainous region, if they are not importing salt from the market or from other areas, if they're indigenously preparing the salt, it is usually observed that mountainous people would be suffering from thyroid problem. Getting it now? That is one thing, because the salt that they will be indigenously preparing themselves in the mountainous regions, that lacks iodine in it. So the thyroid gland, as you know, it needs iodine to make thyroid hormone. Too much little amount of iodine, it will lead to a condition called as like in which basically what will happen now. There's a disease by the name of hypothyroidism. There's a disease called as hyperthyroidism, in which the thyroid will not be functioning properly. Okay, that is one thing. Some people can develop another condition or a type of thyroid also. If suppose the amount of iodine, if someone is consuming a food that is that contains excessive amount of iodine, that will also be problematic. That will also lead to thyroid. So thyroid will be of two types: one in which the body is not getting adequate amount of iodine, the other in which the body will be getting too much of iodine. Getting what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That is one thing. And to answer your question, why it will be harmful, right? That was also one of the question.
Yeah.
It will be harmful now, because remember moments ago what I told you, that it will be affecting the functioning of the muscles and the heart also, right? It is responsible for maintaining the rate of metabolism also. So if a person is suffering from thyroid problem, so thereby their heart rate will be disturbed. It can be affected. Uh, their metabolism will be disturbed. Getting it now?
Yeah.
Other problems that they can suffer from, like if there's a female, so during pregnancy also, there can be some problems during pregnancy as well. Got this one? So that is one thing. Okay. So although it is not a very serious threat, very serious problem, but if it is not treated on time, if it is left untreated, then it can lead to serious problems in the heart, in our bones also, and during pregnancy in the females as well. Got this? So that is one thing. Hope this should be clear.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Talking about the pancreas, by the way, the gland which we this thyroid gland which we have learned, you guys tell me, this thyroid gland, is it an endocrine or exocrine gland? I suppose you guys have not
Exocrine
forgot. No,
or endocrine?
endocrine, no? It's secretion. What we have learned about exocrine gland, where does the secretion of sweat gland or the tear gland or the mammary gland, it comes onto the surface of the skin now.
Yeah.
So that's why they were exocrine. But for the endocrine, where does the secretion of endocrine gland goes?
Like to the heart or inside the body.
Specific answer.
Blood
Yes, Vaika.
vessels.
No. Yes, Harim. To the blood, no. Guys, to the blood, no. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It goes to the blood. Okay, keep that in mind. So this thyroxine also goes into the blood. So thereby, this is a endocrine gland. Pancreas is also endocrine gland. Okay. So pancreas, you can see in the human digestive system, you would have seen that it is present right behind the stomach. Okay, now it is almost about 6 inch long, located behind our stomach. It helps in the process of digestion also by preparing digestive juices. It secretes pancreatic juices, right now. That is one thing. So right now we are not learning about the pancreatic juices. We are be learning about how it will be helping, what kind of hormones it will be producing. Okay. By the way, you guys know about the pancreatic juice, right? The pancreatic juice that helps in digestion. So by the way, just tell me one small. I have one small question. The pancreatic juice is secreted into which part of the alimentary canal?
What?
The pancreatic juice is secreted into which part of the alimentary canal?
Liver.
No,
The stomach.
no.
Intestine.
Which one? Small or large?
Small.
Large.
No, small intestine.
Oh.
Okay, small intestine. You guys really need to revisit the concepts of seventh standard sometime. Nutrition in animal is in the seventh standard, not the second chapter. Okay, that is one thing. Okay, let's get back to the main thing, main topic here. That the hormone will be prepared by this, will be released by pancreas. So pancreas, which is an endocrine gland, it is present in our abdomen. It is will be producing some hormones that will be regulating the sugar level. It will regulate the blood sugar level, right? So it secretes main two types of hormones are secreted by it. One is the insulin, another one is glucagon. What does it secrete? Two main hormones. One is the
Insulin and glucagon.
glucagon. Now both of these hormones will be working together to maintain the sugar level. By maintaining the sugar level, I mean to say that if the sugar level is decreased in the blood, then it will be problematic. So it has to be brought back to the normal. Or if it increases too much, then it has to be brought back to the normal level. Right now, so by increasing or decreasing the sugar level in our blood, these two hormones will be working in a coordination. So insulin is responsible, particularly we say that insulin is responsible for maintaining glucose level in the blood. That is one thing. And glucagon will be responsible to maintain the level of this insulin, so that it will maintain the amount of insulin in our blood. Okay, na? It will prevent the insulin levels from getting too low in the body. Got this now? That is one thing. Now suppose if someone consumes too much of sugary substances are consumed by a person, so the insulin will get activated in our blood. So when the blood glucose level are very high, so the insulin gets activated. Okay, and it will decrease the amount of sugar in our blood. Okay, but if consider the another situation in which the blood sugar level is too low, so then glucagon will get activated. Glucagon will get activated by increasing the amount of sugar. But the question comes that how will the glucagon increase the blood sugar level? Yeah, how will it do so? So it will do so now by signaling the liver to release the sugar that it has stored in it. You know that liver stores sugar. Liver can store sugar in it. Getting everyone? Liver can regulate the store the sugar in it. So glucagon will be stimulating the liver to release the stored sugar back into the blood, so that the blood sugar level can be brought to normal. So let me sum it up what I have told so far. The situation here is such that if the blood sugar or glucose both are being used interchangeably here, okay now? So blood sugar level is high. So which will be released here? Which will be activated? Insulin or the glucagon will be activated?
Insulin.
Insulin, as per our discussion as we have done. So insulin gets activated. So it activates and lowers the sugar level to normal. Lowers it to normal. Further, what I am saying that in another situation, suppose that the blood sugar level drops too low. The situation 2 says that if blood sugar level is dropping, blood sugar level is too low. So in this situation, the glucagon will be now signaling the liver. What does it does? It sends the signal to the liver. It sends signal, or we can basically say it will be kind of stimulating the liver. So it stimulates the liver. Liver is like this, right? Liver. And liver will be releasing the stored sugar into the blood. What the liver will do in turn, it will release the stored sugar. And as it will be releasing the stored sugar, so now the blood sugar will be brought back to normal. For this now, so blood sugar restored to normal. Is that thing clear to everyone or not?
Yeah.
Aisha is
Yes.
absent today, no? If anyone has any questions in this, please let me know. Okay, I have a common question to you guys. What is the normal blood sugar level? Yes. What's the normal blood sugar? Suppose if someone is like, if someone is fasting, if the blood test has been taken during fasting, before you have not, you are empty stomach, you have not eaten anything. So if you were to get the blood sugar checkup done, so it will be about how much? Yes, tell me. While you are fasting or while you have not eaten, so it will be between 80 to 100. How much? 80 to 100. And after eating, how much is it? Right after eating, it will increase. But if you were to take the blood sugar level test done after 3 to 4 hours of eating, it is between 120 to 40. You guys getting know what I'm saying here? And you guys can understand that why immediately after eating the blood sugar level will be high, because you have just eaten the food. The food will be going into the bloodstream after digestion. Okay. So normal, right now I'm drawing the chart for the blood glucose level. So normal, let us understand this in this situation. Or right now we are learning about normal, okay, no? Not for a person who is suffering from diabetes. Because usually if someone who's suffering from diabetes, if their blood sugar level were to be tested, even during fasting, it will be more than 120, okay. That is one thing. So in the normal, for a normal person, it will be like this. Fasting, so thereby the blood sugar level will be between 80 to 100. After eating, how much I told? Between
120 to 140.
no, immediately after eating, 170 to 200. Okay, now then 2 to 3 hours after eating, I said that 2 to 3 hours after you
120
had,
to 140.
exactly, that is 120 to 140. Okay, this much should be clear, I suppose. Okay, now any questions from this? Now
No.
let's understand that why a person suffers from diabetes. So the obvious answer is that the pancreas will not be producing enough amount of insulin, right? Or our body might not be able to use that insulin in an efficient manner. Either of the two things can happen, no? But the primary reason for diabetes is that, talking about the cause of diabetes, so it happens because one reason could be that the pancreas might not produce enough amount of insulin. That is one reason. Another reason for the diabetes could be that our body is not able to utilize insulin in an efficient manner. So our body might not use it effectively. Okay, that is one thing. Also, you know that the family, like the genetic factor is also there. Like for a person to develop diabetes, some genetic factor is also responsible. Okay, no. Other reasons for diabetes would be our lifestyle. If someone who's consuming too much of sugary substances, food that contains too much of carbohydrate, or person who is suffering from obesity is most likely to suffer from this diabetic problem. Okay, no. So there are several reasons for this. Okay, or in certain situations, say for example, if someone is suffering from let's say a pancreatic cancer. Cancer can happen in the pancreas also. It can happen anywhere in the body. So if a person is suffering from pancreatic cancer, so will the production of insulin be normal or will it be disturbed?
Disturbed.
Disturbed.
So in certain rare conditions, that will also be the cause of diabetes. Also, there are several myths around diabetes. There are several myths around the diabetes. Okay, now, like one of the diabetes is that if like for example, one it is said that it is contagious. It can be transmitted from one person to another. That is purely that is not true. Okay, no, that is one thing. Sometimes it is considered that it is very serious, but it is not that serious. With proper diet and with proper health, it can be maintained, it can be regulated. Okay. Also, one of the common myth is that taking of insulin can be very painful. Some people would not be relying on medication, but they would be directly taking the hormone insulin. But when you look at the needle of the insulin now, the syringe that we use to take insulin, it is very thin. It is in fact thinner than the normal needle of the syringes. So it is not very painful. Okay. That is so. There are several myths revolving around this. Okay. Let's continue further then. Then we have the another gland, that is the adrenal. I think all of you would be able to tell me the secretion of this gland. What is it? What does the adrenal gland secrete? Exactly. Okay, now. Okay. Now, when you look at the adrenal, what is the shape of this gland? Does it not look like a triangle shape? Yeah. So it
Yeah.
is a triangular shaped gland. Also, it is an endocrine gland. Plus, it is of the size almost of a walnut, and they are located above our kidneys. Okay, they are present in a pair, and they are located on each kidney, on the right and the left kidney, respectively. Now, further, when you look at the structure of the adrenal, so there are two parts of the structure, two parts of the adrenal. So the adrenal gland is made up of cortex and the medulla. Cortex forms the outer part, and medulla forms the inner part here, right? And this cortex will be and this medulla particularly will be producing the hormone called as adrenaline hormone. What does the medulla produce? It appears. Yes, that is medulla. And medulla is the part of the adrenal gland where production of adrenaline takes place. Production of adrenaline takes place here. Got this, everyone, so far? Any questions on this? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Talking about the cortex, cortex will also produce some hormones. That is, although not important, but cortex will also produce some hormones. As for the medulla, what we are going to learn here, that this will be particularly responsible for various functions in our body, like the what we know about the adrenaline gland. Whenever we are in a stressful situation or whenever we are in a emergency situation, right? So adrenaline will be secreted by the adrenal gland. It will be directly going towards the heart. Your heart, the heart rate will increase. The pumping of the blood by the heart will increase. More blood will be pumped. The rate of the pumping of the blood will become faster towards the tissues, towards the organs. Hence your organs, hence your tissues will be receiving more amount of food, more amount of oxygen and water. So thereby you will feel energized. The body, the cell will get energy, right now. So that is one of the function of the adrenaline, that it will be in a stressful situation, it will be secreted. It will be stimulating your heart to release more, to pump blood faster. Got this now? Further, other also, like we have learned that also one more important thing about this is now, like it will be increasing the blood sugar levels also. It increases the blood sugar level also. So you guys can clearly understand how it will be increasing the blood sugar level. Like the flow of the blood is increasing. As the flow of the blood will be increasing, as your organs will start to work faster. So this, wherever the sugar will be stored in the body, like for example, it is stored in one of the one part of the body, like liver. So liver will start releasing sugar back into the blood. So when adrenaline is secreted, it increases the blood sugar level also. That is one thing. Other effect that happens is that it will be dilating the pupil also. Because understand what is pupil now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what happens that there are several reasons for this, for why people can get dilated, by the way. Okay. So say for example, if you happen to be in a dark room, for example, so the black dot, the big black dot that you see in your eyes, that is the pupil. So in a dark room, it expands in size. The size expands, right? It is like this, for example. So when you are in dark, this is the pupil, and at this right now it is dilated. This is the dilated pupil. But when we come back to the light, suppose someone were to flash a torchlight in the eye, so then what will happen? It will shrink in size. It will shorten like this. That is again pupil. Okay, no? But it is constricted. What is it? It is constricted pupil. Got this, no? So pupil also, we know that it is the opening into the eye from which the from opening, kind of opening in the eye from which the light will be entering, right now. So in the dark, our pupil will get dilated to allow maximum amount of light to enter into our eyes, right? But in the if it is bright light, so a bright or a sharp light can damage our eye cells. Now it can damage the eye. So it will restrict in size. It will constrict to allow minimum amount of light to enter, so that our eye is not damaged. So this dilation of the pupil is also brought upon by the adrenaline hormone. So it will be dilating the pupil also. Is that much clear to everyone so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what we learned about adrenaline? First, we learned that it will be increasing the heart rate. It increases the heart rate, increases the blood supply to the muscles. Okay. Also, it will be dilating the pupil, and it will increase the blood sugar level also. So these are some of the important functions. Apart from that, it will be helpful in maintaining the balance of salt in the blood also. It will be helpful for maintaining the balance of salt in the blood also. Is that much clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what will happen? Suppose, for example, if the production of the adrenaline hormone increases, what will happen then? If too much of it is secreted, like if we are in a dangerous situation, so this will be secreted. Then what will happen?
There'll be like increased amount of heart rate, which could it lead to like a heart attack or something?
No, usually not in that manner. Okay.
Can it lead to like blood clot or something?
No, it will not lead to blood clot, by the way. Blood clot will occur because of several other reasons. If the cholesterol level is too much, or if somewhere if the artery or the vein is constricted, or the blood flow is stopped. But in this case, the blood flow is increasing now. Okay. So first thing, as you said, the heart rate will be increasing, right? So as the heart rate will be increasing, so thereby our cells will be getting adequate amount of oxygen, water, food, etc. So for a momentary period of time, we will feel more energized, right? Our cells will be getting more amount of nutrients, so thereby they will function in a rapid state, in a rapid manner, right? Now, so particularly during exercise, what happens, particularly when we are doing some intense workout, or when we are doing a very thrilling work, some work that in which thrill is involved. Okay, so in that situation, like for example, if you are doing rock climbing, or you are like, for example, you guys know about zip lining, that is
Yes,
also a sport activity, yeah. Or like for example, if you are doing like snowboarding, etc. So in that kind of dangerous activities or very exciting activities, this will be released. Or whenever we are doing some normal exercise, in that situation it will be secreted. Okay, no? So that is something. Yes, and by the way, this one more thing I wanted to say, that this adrenaline hormone, it is also called as the fight or flight hormone. Another common term used for this adrenaline hormone is also called as fight or flight hormone. So suppose someone is in a dangerous situation, so he has two options: either he can fight the danger, or either he will be running away from that place, right? Now, so whenever we are in a stressful situation, so we react in two manner. If we are in a stressful situation, we'll be reacting in in two ways. Either we'll be running away from that situation, right? Or either we will fight. So that's why this is called as flight or fight hormone. Okay, answer these questions. So what are the adrenal glands and where are they located in the body?
Adrenal glands are the glands which secrete adrenaline, and they are
Mhm.
located above the kidneys.
Above the kidneys. Very good. And next question. Vaika, you explain the next question. Name the two parts of adrenal gland and just explain the function of one of the part which I have explained, not the other one. Yes. Okay, Harim, what about you?
For the second question,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Two parts were there. The middle part secretes.
Medulla secretes adrenaline
Mm.
and various other hormones. And what the other one? Cortex or
Cortex, exactly. That is
cortex.
cortex. Okay, no? And this will be medulla secretes the adrenaline. Okay, no? By the way, cortex secretes cortisol. It is not relevant, so thereby I didn't discuss that. And third one, everyone can answer, I suppose. That is?
Yes, sir. Adrenal glands.
Mm-hmm. Hormone, not the gland.
Oh, okay, sir.
Hmm.
Adrenaline.
Adrenaline. Okay. And what role does it plays during a stressful situation?
It provides you with energy.
But first, what it will do? First, it will increase the
Blood pressure.
heart rate.
Heart rate.
So it will increase the heart rate, and it will also enhance the supply of blood to our muscles, right? So as the supply of the blood will increase to the muscles, we will feel energized. Not energized in not in that manner, like you will immediately lift 100 kilogram to 4 5 kilogram. Not in that manner, I want to say. In this manner, we will see that we'll be in a state where the body can tremble also. Certain times when adrenaline is secreted in too much, the body may start to tremble. Okay, but is trembling a sign of a strength or a weakness?
Weakness.
Weakness, but here, due to the secretion of the adrenaline, the body might tremble. That is how we can react. So when suppose as a kid, sometimes suppose unfortunately, if a kid is being chased by a dog, so first the legs of the boy will start to tremble, suppose, right? But the adrenaline hormone is secreted in the body of the child. It is stimulating the heart. The heart rate increases. The supply of the blood is increasing. So by logic, the tissue should be getting energy. Yeah, it is getting energy. But as a reaction to the stressful situation, the legs start to tremble. So that is the case here. So can you list some of the effects of adrenaline on the body? In fact, we have been discussing the same thing. Yes, what are some of effects of adrenaline on the body?
Increased heart rate.
Increased heart rate. Okay, next.
Blood pressure.
Yes, sir, sugar
Increase.
levels.
Good. So increases blood pressure, increases sugar level.
Balance the salt in the blood.
Very good. So it balances.
Increases oxygen level.
Pupils.
Yeah, we can see that. Increases oxygen supply.
Dilutes people.
Very good. So dilates the pupil. Okay. So these are some of the functions performed by it. Okay. What was the last screenshot I put here? It's from the thyroid, no? You guys will be required to prepare the notes also. Although at the end of the class, at the end of the chapter, I will be sending it. But for those of you who have already started, it's a good thing. And this will be assisting you in preparing your notes. You guys can see it. I'm dropping the screenshots in the chat box. For some of you who don't know, who are not checking it, kindly save it in your devices, okay? Now we are going to learn about the master gland. That is the pituitary gland, right? Master of all glands. Okay. Although very small in size, despite being very small in size, this is the most important gland in our body, thereby called as the pituitary gland. So this has a size as small as that of a pea, and it is located inside our skull. It is also called as a master gland, as it will be controlling the function of all other glands. It secretes several hormones are secreted by it. One of the hormone that will be secreted by pituitary gland is prolactin. That will be stimulating the production of milk. Production of milk will be stimulated right now. So what happens here? As during the age of adolescence, as the breast development takes place in the female, particularly the milk production will be starting during pregnancy. So during pregnancy, what happens? The prolactin will be signaling the mammary glands. Prolactin will be stimulating the mammary glands to produce milk, right now. That is one thing. And after the birth of the child, the prolactin will be causing the mammary gland, particularly after the birth of the child, this will be causing the mammary gland to produce milk. So that is one of the function of the pituitary gland, that it produces a hormone by the name of prolactin that has several functions. Particularly the main function that it performs is that it will be responsible for milk production in the females. Other uses are also there, but that is not relevant. And as for the other hormone, it's the growth hormone. Growth hormone, or also called as human growth hormone. So far what we have learned about prolactin. So prolactin will be stimulating which part of the body in the females? It stimulates the mammary gland. When? Particularly during the pregnancy or after childbirth. So as a result, milk production takes place. That is one thing. Another hormone that is produced by the pituitary gland is the human growth hormone. Human growth hormone, in short, also written as HGH. HGH. So during the age of adolescence, particularly the secretion of human growth hormone increases, and it will be responsible for the growth of the height of the person, right? Okay, now it will be particularly responsible for the growth of the height of the person. Got this, everyone, so far?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now, what it will do, how the growth of the height takes place. Basically, it will be elongating the bones in our body right now. So it will be responsible for elongation of the bones in our body. Plus, it will also regulate the amount of fat, amount of tissues, different tissues, amount of the muscles in our body. Got this now? So it will be regulating the growth of the body, and in some manner, it also regulates the metabolism of the body. But the main function is it is responsible for growth of the body. For growth of body. Now there are some situations in which the growth hormone, this HGH hormone, can be secreted in excessive amount, and that will lead to conditions called as gigantism. That will lead to condition called as gigantism, in which the person will be unusually very tall, right? So gigantism, although not a very, very common condition, it's a very rare condition. It happens, it occurs when a child or when an adolescent will have high amount of growth hormone in their body, which will cause them to grow very tall. Okay, na? That is one thing. You might have seen certain people who are suffering from gigantism. Several wrestlers suffer from this problem. So certain people who suffer from this problem, they opt to go to the wrestling business. That is an advantage for them, by the way. Anyways, that is one thing. So it will be leading to a condition called as gigantism. So excessive secretion leads to gigantism. Okay, now? Also, if gigantism, the signs of gigantism are detected early in a child, it can be treatable. It can be treated. Getting what I'm trying to say. So it can be treated if early symptoms are observed in the child. Opposite of this will be dwarfism. So if it is not secreted in adequate amount, if less secretion, so that will be leading to dwarfism, in which the growth will be stunted. The growth will not be proper. So that is the case about it. Also, let us understand why this is being called as master gland, the pituitary gland, why we are calling this as the master gland. You guys tell me, like, why we are calling this a master gland. Any idea about this? What could be the reason for this?
Because it secretes many growth hormones.
Okay, but
Controls
not
all other glands.
It controls all other glands. That is the main reason. Okay, now so it will be controlling the function of many of the glands in our body. Okay, that is one thing. So how does it does so? Let us understand. Particularly, remember at the age of what I told you, that at the age of puberty, the pituitary gland will be signaling. It will be sending hormones towards the male and female gonad. What are the male and female gonads? Male gonad is testis now, and female gonad is ovary.
Ovary.
Exactly. So master gland will be master gland. I'm using the term for pituitary gland. You guys know this. So so it will be sending them hormones towards those towards the testis and ovary to start the production of the testosterone and estrogen and progesterone respectively. So isn't it controlling them indirectly, right? So it is controlling the male and female glands respectively. It is controlling the testis and it is controlling the ovary. When the testis and ovary will start the production, how much of production will take place by them, when it will start releasing the secretions, and when and how much it is controlled by the pituitary gland. Getting it now?
Yeah.
That is one thing. Okay. So it will be controlling other glands also. Okay, no? So pituitary gland will control testis, ovary, and other glands are also controlled by it. The glands are also controlled by it. If there's any question in this, please let me know. Yes?
No questions.
No question.
Okay. So far today we have learned till pituitary gland. There's also one gland left, that is the pineal gland, also called as the eye of the brain. This Parathyroid is also left, by the way. Pineal gland, that is the third eye, and the parathyroid, these two glands are left. One important topic that is left to be discussed, one more important topic is what are the role of hormones in completing life cycle of insects and frogs. Okay, so hormones are not important only for maintaining the life of the humans, but in the case of insects or frogs also it is important. Okay, now particularly in the process of metamorphosis, hormones like thyroxine hormone will be important. So that's it for today. Before we end the class, I have questions for all of you. Okay, I'm going to assign these questions. So what does the medulla secrete? Harim, you will be telling me about the secretion of the medulla. What does the medulla secrete?
Medulla right now.
Yeah, right now. Medulla, what does it secrete?
Medulla.
Next.
How does it secrete?
Okay,
I think like the part of
let
the
me assign all the questions to everyone. One by one, you guys will start to answer. What does pancreas secrete? What are the two hormones secreted by pancreas? Vaiga, you will tell me about this, okay? And
So
you will tell me the secretions of the pancreas. What does the pancreas secrete? Okay. Ramesh, you will tell me the secretion of the thyroid gland. And Ibrahim, you will tell me that due to the lack of thyroxine, what will happen? Yeah, you guys start answering. These are very simple questions, not the tough ones.
So pancreas secretes the hormone called insulin.
And the next one is, does it start from G? Yes. Will it be stimulating the liver to release the stored sugar? Yeah, it's the glucagon. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And next, you guys
Uh,
also answer.
The thyroid gland produces thyroxine.
Okay, good. Next.
The medulla is like the part of the adrenaline gland.
No,
and it,
adrenal gland. Adrenal
yeah,
gland.
adrenal gland, and it like produces
Adrenaline.
adrenaline.
Adrenaline is the name of the hormone. Adrenal is the name of the gland. Okay. Good. Yes, Ibrahim, you are left.
Sir, can you repeat the question?
The question was, due to lack of thyroxine, what will happen? What will happen? If thyroxine is not produced in adequate amount, what deficiency disease will happen? I have given this much of hint. Anyone?
Goiter.
Goiter. Okay, no? Okay, that's it for it. By the way, iodine, you can not only take it from the salt by consuming the seafood also, you can take iodine. Okay, no? Okay, that's it for today. We'll be continuing from